Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I welcome you all in AppSec's online support and assignments tutorial for week 5. I am Zubia Razak from APS Jagathamni. The grade is 8th and subject is biology. You must have following book, basic stationery and gadgets. Contents include day-wise breakup, objectives, biological method, biological problem and steps of biological method from textbook pages 20 to 23. Recipe is chapter number 2, solving a biological problem. Now it's time to share the objective. At the end of this week, you would be able to understand about the steps of biological method from textbook pages 20 to 23. Task 1. Biology as a science. The scientific method is the universal scientific approach to problem solving. Biological method is a method which is used to solve the problem in the field of biology by observation, data collection and experimentation, and it includes following steps: observation, hypothesis, deduction, experiment, result, law or theory. Observation is to find out the problem. Hypothesis, it is the guess. Deduction, logical production. Experiment, it is to show the practical test. Result, positive or negative. Solving a biological problem involves make an observation, ask a question, form a hypothesis that answers the question, make a prediction based on the hypothesis, do an experiment to test the prediction, analyze the results. If hypothesis is correct, then report results, and if hypothesis is incorrect, then try again and form a hypothesis that would answer the question. The first step is recognition of biological problem, and it is the basic step. And biological problem is a problem or a question related to living organisms that is either asked by someone or comes in biologist's mind by himself. Observations, the process of gathering information about events or processes in a careful way. It is made by our five senses: vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Observation, the information gathered from observations is called data. There are two main categories of data: quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative data are expressed as numbers obtained by counting or measuring. For example, the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. And qualitative data are descriptive and involve characteristics that can't usually be counted. For example, the boiling point of water is hot. Next is formulation of hypothesis. A hypothesis is a proposed scientific explanation for a set of observations, a suggested solution to the problem. It must be testable, sometimes written as if-then statements. Characteristics of hypothesis. It should be general statement, tentative idea, agree with available observations, kept as simple as possible. It should be testable and potentially falsifiable. Home tasks for the day 1 are reading and memorizing the significant concepts from textbook pages 20 to 21. You have to write about biological method, biological problems, steps of biological method, and recognition of biological problems. How observations are made. Quantitative observations are better than qualitative observations. Explain why. Write about the formulation of hypothesis and characteristics of hypothesis on loose sheets. Day 1 tasks completed. Now it's time to share the day 2 tasks, which are to know about deductions, experimentation, control experiments, and experimental group. Deductions In the next step, biologists draw deductions from the hypothesis. Deductions are the logical consequences of hypotheses. For this purpose, a hypothesis is taken as true and expected results. Generally, if a hypothesis is true, then one should expect deductions. And deductions, scientists does not know that whether the hypothesis is correct or not, but they accept it may be true and make deductions. One of deduction from the above hypothesis is about rabies. Experimentation. It is the most basic step of biological method. Biologists perform experiment if hypotheses are true or not. The deductions which are drawn from hypotheses are subjected to rigorous testing. Through experimentations, biologists learn which hypothesis is correct. Experimental and control group. In science, the scientist, when doing the experiment, must contrast an experimental group with a controlled group. The two groups are treated exactly alike except for the one variable being tested. For checking the need of carbon dioxide in plants, in the experimental group, the plant would have no carbon dioxide, while in control group, the plants would have freely available carbon dioxide. Summarization of results. Biologists gather actual quantitative data from experiments. Data are then averaged and compared statistically. To draw conclusions, biologists also uses statistical analysis. Reporting the results. In the next step, the summarized results are reported to the international laboratories. Publishing of results is an essential part of scientific method. Now it's time to share the home tasks for the day 2, which are reading and memorizing concepts from textbook pages 22 to 23, define deductions, experimentation, summarization of results, and reporting of results. What are experimental and control group? Day 2 tasks completed. Alhamdulillah. Thank you and have a nice day.